As tensions between Russia and the West reach a bit of a fever pitch, the Black Sea has become a focal point of geopolitical brinkmanship, with NATO's increased presence in these waters. And also Russia's aggressive posturing, countries are now on the edge of a potential conflict that can have catastrophic consequences. Take a look at this report.
Launching attacks in multiple directions, the Russian military machine is on the move. In Kherson, Ukrainian forces suffered a devastating blow when Russian troops decimated a US-made M109 Paladin, self-propelled artillery system using a cutting-edge Lancet loitering munition. The Russian Defense Ministry released this footage, showing the debut deployment of the massive FAB-3000 aerial bomb, a 3.3-ton behemoth that signals a concerning escalation in firepower. In response, Ukraine launched a daring overnight aerial and naval drone assault on Russia's Black Sea bases. Moscow claims it neutralized the threat, downing 33 air drones and 10 unmanned Ukrainian boats headed for occupied Crimea. The Kremlin raised the stakes further by issuing a stark warning, stating that any plans for a permanent NATO naval presence in the Black Sea will be viewed as a direct threat to Russian security. The declaration comes as Moscow accuses NATO of preparing for a direct conflict, citing increased troop deployment, weapon stockpiles, and military infrastructure development in Eastern Europe. In a chilling escalation of rhetoric, Russian state television aired a segment discussing potential missile strikes on European capitals. On the popular 60 Minutes program, the host Evgeny Popov brazenly suggested attacks on multiple NATO member states, including Berlin, Warsaw, Paris, and even American bases in Germany. This provocative display comes in the wake of the US decision to deploy long-range missiles in Germany from 2026. A move Berlin justifies as a response to Russia's placement of Iskander tactical missile systems in Kaliningrad. Clearly, the rhetoric around a direct conflict between Russia and NATO is increasing. Just one miscalculation could saddle the world with a catastrophe. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
All right, now to give us more perspective on this, we're being joined by Professor John Irath, who's a Senior Policy Director for the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation, and also a former member of the US delegation to NATO, and he's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Now, Professor Irath, this is a critical moment in this war, considering what's happening. Now, on the ground, though, the Ukrainians are quite clearly on the back foot, but in the Black Sea, the Ukrainians seem to have destroyed a fair bit of Russian military shipping. How do you think this war is shaping up?
I think that the war is proceeding as it has for the past year or more. It's something of a stalemate militarily. It is not going well for Russia right now, which has made tremendous efforts to gain more territory and had very limited positive results. Certainly, the war at sea is not going well for Russia. There are reports that Russia has withdrawn all of its remaining naval assets from bases in the Crimea to make them less accessible to Ukrainians. And this escalation of rhetoric is part of what we have seen and what we've come to expect from Russia.
Now, the fact that, a lot of this effort by the Ukrainians is also dependent on the aid that comes in from America, and with the American elections just around the corner, and with the possibility that Donald Trump could, of course, be in charge of the White House by, in the next 6 months. Do you think Ukraine is running out of time in putting up its defenses?
I think that Ukraine is trying to defend itself in a way that makes it as costly as possible for Russia to continue to attack. There is still very strong support in both political parties for continued assistance to Ukraine in the U.S., and that is not dependent on who wins the election in November.
That's interesting. All right. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Raut, for joining us and getting us that perspective there.
You're welcome.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.